What's good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, as we just got the PCE data report that came out. And this is actually going to be more positive for the markets because the data came in as expected, if not below expectations. So I'm going to break down what's happening with inflationary data for the day, what data is coming out later on for today, what you should be watching for in the share prices, as we're starting to see the bulls gaining an edge, in my opinion. But before we continue down, let me just mention two things. I am personally not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, today is Friday, May 31st, 2024, the last day of May. I want to call out something very important. So firstly, 1 hour before the market is opened, we just got this data that came out, and all the data came in aligned with expectations, if not below expectations. Let's go through everything. Core PCE month over month was 0.2%, aligned with expectations. Personal income month over month was 0.3%. That is aligned with expectations. Personal spending month over month is 0.2%. That's actually below expectations. PCE, the PCE price index month over month came in. This is for all items at about 0.3%. That's where the consensus happened to be. And then year over year, PCE for all items was 2.7%, aligning with the consensus once again. And then we also have core PCE year over year, 2.8%, aligning with expectations. Everything is as expected, if not below expectations. This is more bullish for the markets, plain and simple. Now, at 9:45 a.m., 15 minutes after the market opens, we also have the Chicago PMI report coming out. This might cause some volatility. Besides that, we have Boston giving a speech, and all the data is going to be very minor for the rest of the day. This gives the market more leeway to do its thing. Now, for today, just know and we have over 550,000 of these calls expiring, and we have over 1.5 million puts expiring with a 2.79 puts to call ratio. So we will see how things go if we see a lot of these shorts being squeezed or not. But nonetheless, I still think that the market has upside potential over the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't solely just talk about today. The earnings are kind of like done with now for the week. I'll give you guys an update later on once we get this calendar updated. But that's what I'm seeing for the time being. What do I think is going to happen to SPY? Here's my honest assessment. We have a nice falling wedge-like structure. We're about to get a breakout right here. And we have this gap to fill over here around this 530 area. I think we're easily going to 530 over the next, I would say, few weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. We should be back up there. I think June is historically a good month for the markets, so we should be looking for more upside, in my opinion. So for today, look for a little dip. We could actually retest the mid, 524 area. Even if we dip a little bit, as long as we hold above 523, we're going to remain bullish. And this thing's going to continue to push later on for the next few weeks to fill this gap and to go to higher levels. So I anticipate upside. I think SPY is going to try to break out, and I think that there is going to be a squeeze coming. For Tesla, now we have upside potential in Tesla. Let me just note that there is a head and shoulders like structure developing on the chart, and this could be a trap or it may not be. We'll just have to double check. But I need to see how well Tesla performs for now. Right now, technicals looking more bullish for Tesla in favor of upside, but just to be safe, we're going to be watching some levels. Watch 180 as resistance and 182 as resistance for Tesla. Break past that, then we have this gap to fill around 185. If we're bearish, you want to see it lose not just 176, but also 173. If we lose 173, Tesla will dip down to fill this gap all the way down here. But overall, it looks to me like Tesla's favoring the upside a bit more. Like if we close above 180, we're going to favor bulls a lot more on Tesla. If we end up closing below 173, we favor the bears. This chart is looking like it has a nice accumulation structure, and we're going to try to continue to push. When you zoom out on Tesla, this has a nice inverse head and shoulders. I think this will also play out for June. Could we dip? Even if we do get some kind of dip, it's going to eventually try to push higher. So I still remain bullish overall for Tesla. For Nvidia is looking pretty good. I said in my video that if we lost our 20 EMA, the green line you guys see right here, if we lost that, we would come down to fill our gap, right? If we lost this support, we would come down to fill this gap. Instead, we're actually holding it thanks to PCE data and getting a big bounce. So I'm going to be looking for a push for 1140 all over again, and we could be approaching this imbalance. I think we could be pushing a little higher on Nvidia. So far, it's holding up very, very nicely. As long as we hold above 1096, we are favoring bulls a bit more on the chart. For Bitcoin's looking a bit more bullish, in my opinion, as we are trying to rebound a bit from this low, and we have a nice looking double bottom like structure. So I'm going to be looking for a push towards 69,000. If we break that, there's going to be a bigger push for about 70,000 most likely on the table. If we end up losing 68,000, there's going to be a bigger dip coming all the way down towards 67,500. But I think that there's potential for Bitcoin to go a little bit higher, in my personal opinion. For the QQQ, okay, the QQQ is showing some life right now. It looks to me like we had we had a very, very nice liquidity grab on the chart. This is going to be around this like 450 area. I said we might be testing it before we try to bounce. That's very close to where we went to. So now we're going to be testing 452.3, the 50 EMA as resistance. If we break through that, I'm going to be looking at 455, basically the zone right here, then eventually 457 and 460. If we end up getting rejection, we start dipping towards 441. If we lose, I'm sorry, 450. If we lose 450, I don't know why I said 441. If we lose 450, we could turn back to bearish, but we're not really doing that. I think we could dip a little bit, but I think the odds favor this trying to slowly uptrend its way back up. So I'm going to be looking for a bounce as a more likely possibility. For Aapl, Apple's looking more bullish, but it's not that strong. We like to chop around 192, look for test of 192 to 192.5, but nonetheless, I do see upside potential in this for a little push. For Neo, I want to call out Neo. I know that a lot of people may not watch this, but I did say that there was upside potential, and this thing was up 10% yesterday. So I've been saying that since the beginning of the week, and this thing did get a bounce. I also want to call out that for Neo going into uh, next week on Monday, we're going to have a big reaction to deliveries data. We might get a gap up most likely. So I do favor upside on this. So that's another play on my kind of like eyeing. For the IWM Russell 2000, we're looking more bullish. Look for a test of 205. We might shuffle in this 205 to 204.5 area, or for a push to 207 later on. For Amazon looks more bullish to me. I think we have potential to push all the way up towards 180 if we could try to hold above 179. If we fail to do so, if we continue to reject off 180, we fail to reclaim it, then there could be a risk of us dipping to 176.5 before we try to bounce. So I want to see it try to get back above 180. It is showing some signs it wants to bounce. Meta is not looking as strong, but I just want to call out that I want to see it break past 472 to turn back to bullish. If we end up losing 462, we turn back to bearish. We could be falling into the lower 450s. So I think right now it's kind of shuffling. I do see some potential for it to try to slowly climb up to the 470 area where one of our EMAs happen to be. But for now, we're just kind of shuffling. So we'll have to give this some time. AMC and GameStop. I know a lot of people like these. 50 EMA is going to be tested on GameStop. We're actually trying to break through it. So if we do manage to hold above 22.5, there's going to be more potential for us to go all the way up to about 25 plus. And then for AMC, we have basically our 200 EMA as support. If we do bounce off this, I'll be looking for 4.56. So there's potential in this as well, in my personal opinion. One last thing, the VIX. Notice how the VIX is showing some weakness. We have this gap to fill, another gap to fill. VIX is going to likely start sinking again for the next few weeks. Market's going to likely try to bounce higher. I think that the bulls are going to likely try to take over. So we'll see how things go. If SPY does shuffle a lot for today, let's just say it does kind of like dip and trade sideways. I'm saying that ultimately I see upside for the next couple of weeks. This could be a very, very good entry day, and we're going to likely see a big pivot. So I think that the odds favor the upside, at least moving forward. All right. So thank you for listening. Hopefully this video was insightful. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys in just a couple of hours. We'll see how things go for the markets, and just know that right now the bulls are showing signs that they want to reclaim the markets, turn things around, and produce these nice pumps for the next couple of weeks, in my opinion. All right. Thank you for listening. We'll see how things go, and peace out.